So now we need to work on allowing us to send messages. So we're going to need to implement the function that we already called here, called send-JSON, that our client and server are both going to use. So with client and server using the function, we're going to place it inside our utils file. So let's head over to our utils file and let's start adding in a couple of more use statements that we're going to need. So we have async standard. We want to add in everything in the prelude. We want to use serialize, and then we want to use standard marker unpin. So the function we are going to create is going to create a JSON representation of our packet as a string. Then we will add a new line to the end of the string and write it all to leaving. So let's begin to set that up so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. So we're going to say send JSON. We're going to have two generics, O and P. And we're going to say leaving, which is going to be a mutable reference to our O generic. And then we're going to have a packet, which is a reference to our P generic. And we're returning a chat result. So we have a generic O and P, and now we can define a couple of constraints on it. So we will need a where clause. So up here we will say where O is async standard, IO write and unpin, and then P implements serialize. So let's cargo format that to make it look better, and there we go. So now we have our O generic, which must implement write and unpin, and then our P generic, which must implement serialize. So now we can turn our packet to a string and then write it to our leaving argument. So we'll say let mutable JSON equals serday JSON to string, and do that with our packet. And then we want to push in our new line character, as I said earlier. And now we're going to write it to leaving. Write all JSON as bytes dot await. And now we want to return OK. So now we have our logic implemented for sending messages. So let's begin on working to receive these messages.